On this class, I'll be talking a lot. So basically, right now, you guys will be listening to me because there, there are many things I have to explain. Now, I will say good evening. Yeah, it is 7 already. So good evening, everyone. We're going to start. And in the platform, I left some information and materials that you are supposed to download. Um, I'm gonna go there quickly. I like to do this. I like to go in the platform and show you what I leave in there for you, because sometimes there are some students who say that they didn't see that they don't see the homeworks or the assignments. So I like to show you where you can find them. All right, so let me go very quick over there. Quickly, I might say. Okay, so let me go here to the subjects, and we are here on phonetics. I hope this is this one. All right, now, let me see. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, now, when you go into the platform, allow me a second, someone is calling me. Uh, this is not a good time. All right, so here we go. Sorry about that. We have 2 weeks, right? We have last week, September 14th until the 19th. It is there. And there is no homework in there. What you have is actually a little activity to introduce yourself. You see here. If you click there, oh God, let me click, okay. If you click there, guys, I left something there so you could introduce yourself to the group, you see? And here you have some people who already did it. We have Berjaris, Amylin, we have Jennifer, Maria Isabel who did it already. So try to go in there. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. Try to go there and do it if you can. There is no points for that. That's only as an introductory part. I'm just gonna go back here. And here you have the phonetics book. You see? This is the book that we're going to use, as it says in there, look. So this is the book we will use during the subject, and you have to download it and save it, and it's a little heavy. It is 98 megabytes. So you click there and you download it, whether in computer or in your smartphone, so you can open the book, because like in 2 weeks, we're going to be working with this book 100%. If you guys have a question in the meantime that I'm talking or explaining to you, you can raise your hand in the platform. I mean, in Zoom. I will see you and I will give you the opportunity to talk. This is the first time that we meet, and I have many things to explain. So let me go back here to the content. Now, that was last week, right? That was last week. Now, we are here on September 21st until the 26th, which is the second week. And if you notice, guys, that I'm speaking kind of slow, doing pauses, is because I know that when I'm speaking and you are on the other side, if I speak too fast, maybe if you have an interference, you won't be able to understand. So I will try to modulate my speed. Okay, so here we are. I left this here for you, definitions and rules, and I told you that this is what we are going to talk about today. You see, today is Tuesday, so we'll be talking about some rules. Make sure that you download this and you save it. It's a picture, okay? It's like when you take a picture of a book, you have it there, so save it, because we're gonna talk about that. And important information from this is coming for the first exam when the time comes. All right, so let me just go back. Let me stop sharing the screen. And let me tell you, we're going to have 3 exams. Each exam has 20 points value. Okay, so that's 60 points for the exams. And there are 40 points that we're going to distribute them through the different activities and homeworks that we are going to do. Each homework is going to have a certain amount of points, and I will let you know when I leave the assignment how many points you will have. And if you do it, depending on how you do the homework, you will get the points, right? But if you don't do it at all, you lose the points and you don't recover those points. You cannot recover the points that you lose. Why? Because I'm going to give you 6 days for you to do homework. For example, if today we have this meeting, I explain something to you about phonetics, and then I leave a homework today in the platform, you're going to have 6 days for you to do the homework and upload it. If you miss, I mean, if the day number 7, you try to upload it, the system will not let you do it. And I won't give you a chance to do it because you have 6 days. Of course, sometimes we have, you know, special situations. Maybe you're sick or someone died in your family, or you're having problems with your internet that you cannot pay, or things like that. You know, you can talk to me, you text me on WhatsApp, and we'll see how it goes. But this is not something that happens all the time, right? That's why we call it special. It's not common. Okay, now every Tuesday we are going to have this meeting at 7 p.m. You don't need to wait for me to send you the link, because in the platform, OEM platform, if you go to video conferences, you will see the conferences, that the pending conferences that you have, or the coming up conferences. It gives you the time and the subject and when, you know, you're gonna have it. But anyways, as I did today, every Tuesday, like 5 minutes before we start or 3 minutes before, I will send you the link so you can, you know, go in and we start teaching. What else? And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it for the explanation about the subject, right? How we are going to work. Normally in phonetics, we have to read a lot, many theories and things like that, you know. So what we're going to do is, the major methodology that we are going to use is, we are going to work chapter by chapter, the book that I left. So when I give you, for example, if today we work with chapter number 1, or next week, I might say, if we're going to work on chapter number 1, what I do is that I give you a questionnaire, a list of questions, maybe 5, 6, 7, it depends on how large is the chapter. So I will give you the questions so you can look for the answers, fill up the answers, and upload the homework. And then when we meet here, then we'll talk about that. I'll give you the explanations, and also I will ask questions to see if you guys really did homework or if you studied. Because it's not only filling up the questions. Filling up the questions will help you get some of the knowledge, but when we meet, then is when I'm going to investigate how much you capture and what you need to know about that. Okay, now I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to let you ask any questions about the subject. It doesn't matter if you didn't understand something that I said, about what I said, you can ask and I will repeat. And I will give you the chance now. I'm going to do silence and let you talk. If you don't talk, that means that I can continue, and I will do so. So it's your turn now. Any questions about the subject? Oh, I like that. That means that you guys have no questions, right? Okay, all right. Now, okay, so what we're going to talk about right now is this. Let me show you guys. Oops, sorry. This is what we are going to talk about right now, okay? This is the document that I left in the platform that talks about different rules and some definitions, but I'm not going to leave this here, okay? I'm going to ask you a few questions right now. The document that I left in there talks about consonant blend. Consonant, consonant blend. Let me see if I can project this here. Okay, hold on. Consonant blend, right? So what is a consonant blend? If you guys had the chance to read, what is that, a consonant blend? I see who is that? Is that you, Marlon? You trying to talk? If you're trying to talk, your microphone is on mute.
No, teacher, it's not me.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was you because I saw it there. But anyways, that's fine. Okay, I see nobody studied. Nobody checked the platform. So that's why everybody's quiet. I know that. But anyways, from now on, make sure that you check the platform because everything is going to be there. All right, so now I'm going to give you some explanations. Make sure that you have your notebook and a pen because although you have it in the material, it's not the same when the teacher explains to you. So here we go. Let me show you my little presentation that I have here for today. Okay, hold on guys. Okay, so here we are, right? As you can see here, I put a beautiful logo, OEM logo there for you. Hold on, my internet is acting up. So let me wait 1 second. If you guys have problems listening to me, let me know so I can stop. So here we are. Right, today is the 22nd September, and now we're gonna talk about some rules and some definitions. Okay, now we're gonna go one by one, and all you see in here, you see these homophones, homographs, consonant blend. Don't write right now, okay? We're gonna go one by one, so you don't have to write. Let me see who's writing. Hold on. Okay, Virjoris. Yeah, I see he says Anna Toribio, so that's you, huh? Very good, that's okay. All right, so here we go. These are the concepts and the rules that we have in here, right? So we have consonant digraph, we have short vowel rule, long vowel rule 1, long vowel rule 2, and we have a vowel digraph. Now, guys, before we go into the rules, you need to know something very important, okay? So let me show you. You see this? Homophones, homographs, consonant blend. This is what we have here, you see? Okay, now I'm gonna go one by one. This is very easy. Don't lose time writing too much. pay attention to me. This, give me a second here. I don't know if I am, oh yes, I am recording. I'm sorry. I got scared. Okay, so here we are. All right, we're gonna start with consonant blend, okay? And I'm going to ask a question. Anybody in here could answer. What is a consonant? What is that? Consonant. Do you guys know? Anybody knows? Consonant. What is that? What is a consonant? Oh, Danny, is it you?
Yes.
Okay.
According to what I understand, consonants are those letters that are not the normal vocal, like A, U,
I
O,
know.
E. That's what I understand.
That's what you mean? A-E-I-O-U, those are
Yeah,
vowels, right? The vowels. So you mean, Danny, that a consonant is any letter from the alphabet that is not a vowel, right?
correct.
All right, very good. That's right. Okay, so we'll see what this is. A consonant blend. Look, this is what it means. Give me a second, guys, here. Just one moment. All right, sorry about that. Hold on. Okay, so here we are. A consonant blend is very easy. When in one word, okay, when in one word or syllable, you guys know a syllable is a part of a word, okay? So when in one word or a syllable, you have two consonants together, and each one of them has a sound. That's what we call consonant blend. For example, we have the word right here, right? Okay, we have right. As you can see, we have W and we also have R. Okay, so the two of them have a different sound in here, and that's why we call it consonant blend. But maybe here you say, okay, so what's going on? All right, I'll show you now. Let's check the word spring, which is the second one here. You see, spring. What happens to spring? Well, at the beginning, you have three consonants. You have S, P, and R, okay? And each one of those consonants has sound. And how do you know that the sound is important? Because if you forget to say or to pronounce one of the sounds, the meaning of the word is going to change. For example, imagine that you forget to say the S, then you say pring, right? But if you forget to say the P, then you say shrink. And if you forget to say the R, then you say sping, right? So that means that each one of the sounds of each letter is necessary. And that's what we call consonant blend. Normally, the consonant blend are more important when they appear before the vowel, okay? As you can see here, we have consonant blend in here, okay? But here we have, we have another consonant blend, which is CK. But this one is not that important because it is after the vowel. We are going to focus on those consonant blends that are before the vowel, not to get confused by now. So imagine we have the word black, right? And we focus on these two consonants. Imagine that you forget to make the sound of B. Then you say lack, right? But if you forget to say the sound of L, then you say back. So it's very different than black, right? So the meaning of the word changes. And this is what we call consonant blend. Very easy. When you have one word or syllable and you have two consonants together, each one of those consonants have a sound. That's what you call consonant blend. Then we have the counterpart, the opposite. The opposite is the consonant D graph. The consonant D graph is when you have in a word or syllable, when you have two or three consonants together and all of them together only have one sound. For example, you have the word white. The W and the H is only one sound, which is woo, woo, white. Okay, then we have the word church. The CH together is only one sound, which is ch, because you say church, right? Ch. That's the only sound for those two. And of course, we have here P, and that's why I told you not to focus on the last two. I didn't want you to focus on that CK. The point is that the combination of CK is actually K, right? Why? How do you know that? Because if you take the K away, if you erase the K, you will still have the sound pack. But if you forget to say the C, right, you only have PAK is pack again. So there is no change because the two of them together is only one sound, which is K on this case. When I finish explaining these four, then I'm going to see if you guys have a question. All right, now let's go here. Homophones, right? Homophones. Homo means the same and phone means sound. So homophones means same sound, okay? The same sound. Now, what are homophones? Homophones are words that have the same sound, the same pronunciation, but they have different writing and different meaning. For example, we have these two words in here. See, as in see from your sight, and sea, as in sea from the ocean. When you speaking, it is the same sound. When you say the word, it's the same thing. But when you see it written, it is different, okay? But what about this one, the second one? We have bee as the flying insect, right? The honeybee. And then you have bee. Give me a second here. Olivia is trying to act up. One moment. Sorry, guys, you know how it is. When you have kids at home, it's difficult to be quiet. All right, so here we are. I was on B, okay? We have B as a flying insect, and we have B from to be. I am, you are, he is, she is, right? Okay, as you can see, it is the same pronunciation, okay? The same word when you listen to it, but when you write it, it's pretty different, and the meaning is pretty different too. We also have a very special one, which has three words that sound the same, but they have different meaning. And these are two, as in the number, two, as in me too, you too, I love you too, and two, as the preposition to love, to go, to speak to you, to me, to the beach. You see? When you say it, it's the same sound. When you write it, it's different, and the meaning is also different. So that's what we call homophones. Words that have the same sound, but they have different meaning and they have different spelling, different writing. That's what we call homophones. What about homographs? Homographs are are actually the opposite of homophones. Why? Well, homo means the same, and graphs, graph, what about graph, guys? What do you say? If homo is the same and phone is sound, if phone is sound, what is graph then? Can anybody tell me what graph is? What do you think? Graph. What is graph? Give you a chance to see if someone knows. Look, I don't see you guys. If you're raising your hands and you don't have your camera active, I cannot see you. You will have to raise your hand through Zoom for me to see you. Can you imagine you raising your hand and your camera is off? Okay, I see everybody's quiet. You know what I'm going to do, guys? Maybe you having a delay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop recording the video conferences from the beginning, because sometimes there are people who are connected, but they doing something else when they're not supposed to. Well, that's okay. That's what I'm going to do. All right, I see Catherine, you raised your hand.
Yes. I imagine that graphs means writing. That's what I think.
Yeah, very
If
good.
if
Very good.
phones it sounds, it means that graphs is writing, the opposite.
Yeah, very good. That's true. That's true. Very, very good. So yeah, homographs means the same writing. Okay, but then you say, oh, okay, how come? How can you have a word that have the
¿Eh?
same, that has the same writing?
¿Que yo qué?
Okay, Nakaduke, you still have your microphone on, Marlon. Anyways, that's okay. All right, guys, so here we are. How is it possible that you have a word that has the same writing and a different meaning? It doesn't make sense, right? But see this, check this, the examples. We have this word in here, but this word has different meanings. What is a homograph? A homograph is a word that has the same writing of another, but it has a different meaning and sometimes different pronunciation. You will see. We have this one. We have present, right? As the present time. We also have present as a presentation, right? Present. And we also have present as a gift. Okay, let me see who's writing here. I don't know, someone was writing. Okay, so that's what it is, you see? One word has different pronunciations and also different meanings. But what about the second one? The second one, we have the word record. Record is when you do something that nobody has done before. That's a record. But what about if I tell you that record is when you take your smartphone, right? Smartphone, and you start a video or a voice message or whatever, that's to record. It's the same writing, it has different meaning, and also different pronunciation. But what about the second one? The second one, not the second, the third one, sorry. The third one, you can say that this is live, right? I live here, you live there. But what about if I tell you that this is also life, right? So live is when you are right now, you go to Facebook and you start transmitting a video right now. So you are live, right? So that's what it is. And this is so far some explanations. These are the definitions, right? These are not the rules. These are the definitions where you see that maybe you didn't know that there were words that you use every day in English that it is the same writing, but it has a different pronunciation, or it has the same sound, but it has a different meaning. And that's part of phonetics, okay? Okay, if you guys have questions, you can ask. Now let's give a very short review of what Danny said. Danny said that the consonants are all the letters of the alphabet that are not vowels. And as you can see here on the screen, we have the vowels. We have A, E, I, O, U. For a person who speaks Spanish, it's very difficult to say the vowels in English. You know why? Because when you start saying it, Spanish interferes right away. So you have to learn it like A, E, I, O, U, right? Just like that, like a sentence. So, okay, now we have, these are the vowels. And we are going to focus on the vowels because every sound that you produce in English is affected by the sound or by the intonation or by the form that you give to a vowel, okay? Now, don't forget, vowels are the ones who give sense to a word. You cannot produce words without vowels, okay? And a vowel can affect the meaning of a word on the way you produce it, on the way you pronounce it. Also, don't forget that a syllable, you see here, a syllable is a part of a word, okay? So now we're gonna start with some rules. Today is gonna be like, you're gonna say, the teacher gave many things today, but don't worry, you're gonna have time in your house to study. I'm just giving you a very quick presentation of this. Now, let's go, okay, let's go here. We have different rules, and I'm going to explain also only four, okay? And you will see how easy it is, only 4 rules. The point is this: the vowels that you know, right? E, I, O, U, they have 2 sounds, okay? The 5 of them, they have 2 sounds. They have 1 short sound and 1 long sound, okay? You guys already know the long sound. The long sound is the way that we normally say the vowels. A, E, I, O, U. That's what we call the long sound, the letter sound, okay? So A, E, I, O, U. That's the long sound.
What about
Now,
the short sound?
I'm sorry?
What about the short sound?
Yeah, we're gonna go there right now. We're going to focus on the short sounds because those are the ones that we don't know, maybe. Because the long ones are easy. You guys have been using the long sounds for a long time and you know it. But the short sounds, we'll see right now. Let's go to the rule. There is one rule for us to discover what are the short sounds for the vowels. And we're gonna go here right now. Here we are, the short vowel rule. It is short because we're looking for the short sound, okay? Now, the short vowel rule is divided into 2 parts. And it says that when you have a vowel, listen to this and read at the same time. Number 1, when you have a vowel that comes at the beginning of a word or a syllable, that vowel has a short sound. How? We have the example in here. Look at this. Look. We have these words, right? You say is, but you don't say eyes. Remember that we said right now that this is A, E, I, O, and U, right? So if this is I and you combine it with an S, it should say ice, right? But we don't say ice, we say is, like here. What about if you put this vowel alone? If you put it alone, it says A. But if you combine it with M, it should say aim. But we say You know why? Because when you have the vowel at the beginning of the word, it has the short sound. So now we discovered in here that the short sound for I is I, because we say is. And the short sound for A is A, because we say What about here? You guys, the long sound for this one is O, but you don't say own, you say because the short sound for that is ah. It's between O and A, but this is like you, ah. This is the first part. Now you discover why you say and no aim. Because if you say aim, you're gonna get confused with a word. When you want to shoot a person, before you shoot, you aim, right? Just to see where you shoot it, okay? And if you say ice, we say is, because we don't wanna get confused with cold, very cold water that gets solid. That's what we call ice, like ice cream, you know?
Hey,
Yeah.
but what about with it?
Which one?
A-I-I-T.
Which
What
one
letter
is?
we should use?
Which one did you say?
What about with it? That, I mean, I-T. What letter we should use?
Okay. IT,
Uh-huh,
IT. All right.
It's the
Okay.
same.
Oh God. Okay. No, listen.
uh-huh.
Let me. Oh, you're gonna make me. I like
Okay,
that.
I just want you to
No,
explain
I
me because
like
I
it.
don't want to get confused.
No, I like it. I like that. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that, yeah, I like that. We're gonna go there.
Okay,
Let me,
so get it.
no, don't worry. That's fine. Okay, you talking
Uh-huh.
about this, right? You're talking
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay, you
exactly.
know what? This has two pronunciations.
Uh-huh.
You have the pronunciation E, and you
Uh-huh.
also have the pronunciation et. It sounds E and it sounds E, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know what? I don't like this. Let me see if I can. Okay, let me tell you what. Do you know the name for that word? The grammatical name for that word? That's you, Victoria. Do you know the grammatical name for that word?
Yeah,
What is it?
is.
Oh, but I mean the name of the word. It has a name. What type of word is that?
Oh, you mean in Spanish?
No, you can say it in English. It es eso in Spanish or whatever. You know, it doesn't.
It's eso, that,
Yeah.
I mean, about
Okay.
things.
Don't worry. That's okay. Look, it
Uh-huh.
is a personal pronoun.
Pronoun.
Okay, it's a personal pronoun,
Yeah,
and
things like that.
I wouldn't say personal. You know, this is very advanced for us. So personal pronoun is for beginners. Uh, this is a subject pronoun. This is a subject pronoun. But you know the problem with it is that besides being a subject pronoun, is also an object pronoun. So that's right. For us to make a difference between the two of them, we have to change the pronunciation. And this is, you know what type of word is it? This is a homograph, because you write it the same way, but you say it in a different one. For example, Victoria, I want you to read this.
You mean, you mean
Read
like
it.
it, you mean like a different pronouns, right?
Yeah. Can you read the sentence, Luke? Can you read it?
Yes, I could. It says, it rains much.
Okay, did you listen to what you said at the beginning?
Yeah, it
It, right?
rains.
Okay, now let me give
Uh-huh.
you another one.
Ah, okay.
How do you say this one now?
Take it easy,
Oh,
Victoria.
okay, can you go back and say, what did you say here?
Take it easy.
No, you didn't say take it. You
No,
said take
no, no.
it.
I say that, teacher. But when you pronounce fast, it takes pronounced like fast, But I mean, take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy, Victoria.
Yeah, that's not what you
So,
said.
uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another one, Victoria.
Give me all the challenge.
That
I
one.
challenge you. No
Say that
problem.
one.
Do it, Victoria.
Can you repeat that?
Do it.
Do it. You see what you're
Do it.
saying? You're
Do it.
saying do it. You're not saying do it, right?
No, I don't want to say, no, because I don't want to mean do it. I want to mean do it. Exactly.
Do it.
Do
That's
it.
right. Let me tell you what's the problem here. Look,
What's the problem there?
this is the same word, but in meaning is not the same. Let me tell you what.
Uh-huh.
This is an object pronoun, subject, you see, because this is the one, this is impersonal actually, but this is a subject pronoun and this is an object pronoun. When
Uh-huh.
subject pronoun, when it is at the beginning, then you pronounce it eat. It is raining, it smells bad, but when it is an object pronoun, when it appears after a verb, then it sounds it. That's right, you say do, take it, leave it, say
Mm-hmm.
it. So now you know that this one has two pronunciations depending on the type of word that it is. Because you write it the same way, but the word is different. It has a different grammatical name. Look, subject and object, although it is a pronoun.
So,
With that.
teacher, you mean when we pronounce it, when we start with it, the pronunciation is different than when you pronounce when it is in the middle, right?
Okay, let me tell you, very easy for you to identify it. If
Huh?
it is before a verb, is
Uh-huh.
if it is after a verb, is at.
Oh, okay. It. Yes. Yes.
That's it.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah. All right, let me see who's writing. Oh, teacher, I'm here. Oh, very good, Manuela. Don't worry. That's fine. Okay, so let me go back. Is it clear for you or?
I'm fine, teacher.
All right. Now, okay, guys. So you see, that was a very good question, Victoria. Very good. So here we are. That was only the first part of the short vowel rule, right? So when at the beginning of a word or syllable, you have a vowel, it has the short sound. But we have a second part. When a vowel is between two consonants, it has a short sound. For example, let's see the number 2. The number 2 says bed, right? Like in Spanish. And because if you put the long sound, then this will say bead, and that's not how you pronounce it. And this happens because the vowel is between the two consonants. Here you don't say folks, you say fox, you see? Because the vowel is between two consonants. Now we have a very special vowel, U, right? U has two short sounds. The first short sound is U, like in Spanish, right? U, as in put, you see? And then we also have A, as in but, A, but. And that's very special because it has two short sounds. Now let's go back then. If we pay attention very close, the short sounds of the vowels are like in Spanish. Why? Look at this. For this one, for I, we have E. For A, we have A. For E, we have E. And for U, we have U and A. And for O, we have A again. So E as in is, A as in am, A as in on, A as in fox, A. E as in bed, U as in put, and A as in but. These are the short sounds. How can you know the short sounds? You use them. You have been using the short sounds since you started learning English. The point is that you didn't know that those were the short sounds for the vowels. Or maybe you knew, you know, maybe you knew. Now, before I continue, because this is the first rule, and this is gonna be a long video, do you have any questions? If you guys have questions about the short vowel rule, ask now before I continue. When we finish this, I'm going to upload homework about the rules. So if you have a question, make sure and take advantage right now. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to see if someone wanna ask a question.
So, teacher, essentially, a short vowel rule is pretty much, well, I mean, a short vowel is like a connection, like a link to another word, is what I like can understand from it.
Yeah, you mean that, well, you know, the short sounds have the same function as the long sound. The only thing that they do is help you distinguish one word from another, because we use the short sounds to avoid confusion between the words. So basically,
Oh, okay.
for example, you see this word here, look at the mouse. You see that word?
Yeah, I do.
If you say it, if you say the long sound of this vowel, what do you say then?
Is
Are you sure? What's the long sound for this one?
mm,
Eyes.
I.
Eyes.
yeah, it's,
I, right? Okay.
uh,
And if you combine I with S, what do you say? If you do a combination of I and an S together, how does it sound?
yeah, I see. I see. Yeah.
You see, ice, right? So that's
I was I see afterwards,
right.
actually.
Uh-huh. All right, very good. All right, now, okay, so I'm gonna continue to the next rule. If you guys don't ask or if you guys don't raise your hand, look, I'm just gonna continue and believe that you guys understand everything. So this is gonna be an easy class for me. I like it. All right, my internet was acting up. Now, okay, you guys know, we talk about the short vowel rule, right? Short sounds. Now we're gonna focus on the long sounds, okay? The long sounds that we already know. A, E, I, O, U, okay? Those are the sounds that we are familiar with, but we're gonna see how easy that they appear in the words and syllables. So here we go. All right, we have the first rule for the long sounds, okay? Now, this is easy. when in a word or syllable you have two vowels, okay? When you have two vowels, the first one sounds and the second one doesn't sound. Very easy. One word, you have two vowels. The first one sounds, the second one doesn't sound. All right, and let's see the examples. The first one is C. It is not because the combination of two E sounds E. No, it's not because of that. It's because the first one has the long sound, which is E, right? And the second one is mute, that doesn't sound. That is only there written to help you know that this is a word and not another, okay? You know why? Because you could get confused with ocean, sea, and sea from sight. Do you remember? So the writing is gonna help you distinguish one from the other because the sound is the same. But let's go back here. Okay, we have wait, wait. You see this vowel, the I in there doesn't do any function phonetically, because this is A. You see, this one is A, so wait. You forget about this one. And you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. Give me a moment. Because I feel limited, you know? I feel so limited when I'm just working with a graphic. Okay, now let's try to explain it, okay? Okay, we have this word, see, okay? We also have wait. I don't remember the others. Hold on. The ones that I put in there. Take, mute, train. Okay. Take, mute, train. Okay. So let me give it a little bit of space because I want you to see it. And now here we are, okay? Okay, guys, so here we go. Look at this. We have two vowels together. We are working with the long sounds. We know that this is E, okay? So the rule says the first one sounds and the second one doesn't sound. So we're gonna forget about the second one. And you say C, right? Because this is S and this is E, and that's why you say C. What about the second one? In the second one, this letter, this vowel, which is I, doesn't do any function phonetically because this is A. And when you combine W, A and T, you say wait. You see, this one doesn't exist phonetically. What about take? Take is the same, you know? Although they're not together, they're not one after the other.
It's like,
They belong to the same word or the same syllable.
teacher,
Yes.
it's like we don't need to put those letters. I mean,
Mentally.
but we have to keep the rules how to write it, right?
Yeah, because look, one thing is to write them and one thing is to say them. And as we are in phonetics, we are focused on how you say it and not how you write it. You know that you need to write it properly, but I'm just trying to tell you that phonetically in sounds, these not consonants, these vowels don't exist. Although I am erasing the words from here, I'm not erasing the letter. I am erasing the sound, just to let you know that that letter is mute. It doesn't make any sound, okay? So don't get confused. Now, take a look at this one. That one is mute, mute. As you listen to the word, you notice that this one doesn't sound. It's you, right? You, mute. Stop there. No function phonetically for that one because the rule says that the first one sounds with a long sound, and the second one is silent. And the same happened here. Train. Is this I phonetically, right? Not writtenly. Phonetically, it doesn't have any function. It is a train. And that's it. That's what the rule says. When you have a word or a syllable, and you have two of them, two of the vowels, the first one does the sound, and the second one doesn't do any sound. And that's what it is. Well, let me take this away. What am I doing? Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay, guys. I don't know if you guys have questions so far, but okay, keep your questions and we're gonna go to the second rule. The second rule is easy, super, super easy. The second rule says that when you have a consonant at the end of a word or syllable, it has the long sound. For example, we have B, E. We have she, E. We have go, O. We have high, I, right? As you can see here, whenever you have a word or syllable, you know why I'm repeating syllable, guys? It's because there are words that are monosyllables. For example, look at this word. All these words are monosyllables. It is a word and it is a syllable at the same time, you know? So that's why I'm saying if a word or a syllable, just to let you know. That was very easy, okay? And we are at the end now. We are at the end because we have the short vowel rule, we have the long vowel rule 1, we have the long vowel rule number 2, and now things are going to get complicated with this one. Look, vowel digraph. A vowel digraph is a word that doesn't follow the long vowel rule number 1. The long vowel rule number 1 says that when you have two vowels in a word or syllable, the first one is sounds, it makes the sound, and the second one is mute. But then I tell you, what happened to these words? Look, you have this, you have this, you have this, this, and this. You see two vowels together. You see two vowels together. You see two vowels together. But if you notice, if you apply the rule number 1, then you will say book and no book. Here you will say breed and no bread. And here you will say, what would you say in here? Ato. You will say ato and no auto or auto. And here you wouldn't say ate. You will say eat. And then you're gonna get confused with eating, right? Eat, eat. It doesn't make sense. So that's right. We have the vowel digraph. These are some words that don't follow the long vowel rule number 1. But I have good news for you. Maybe you say, how the heck am I going to know then when a word has the long vowel rule number 1 and when a word follows the vowel digraph? Well, I will tell you, 99% of the words follow the long vowel rule number 1. Only 1% of the words follow the vowel digraph, okay? So if one day I tell you, not you, not right now, I'm talking about general things, right? If you're reading a book and you find a word that you don't know how to pronounce it, because it has two vowels together. Then I will tell you, go for the long vowel rule number 1 because you have 99% of being right, and don't go for the vowel digraph because you only have 1% of being right possibility, okay? So that's what it is. So don't forget, vowel digraph is a word that don't follow, or that doesn't follow, sorry, that doesn't follow the long vowel rule number 1. And I'm gonna give you a little clue, a little hint in here. Let's go back so I can show you one thing. Let's go back. Look, in the long vowel rule number 1, the vowels can be together, one after the other, you see, right together, or they can be separate by a consonant, you see, as in take, as in mute, right? But they can be together or separate, okay? But the vowel digraph, they need to be together. Oh, sorry. They need to be together all the time, right there, right together, okay? So if you see a word that has two vowels and one of the vowels is separated by a consonant, that one goes with the long vowel rule number 1. But if the word has the two vowels right together and you haven't heard it before, then you should investigate or should know if it is a vowel digraph or it has the long vowel rule number 1. Now, guys, I have a question for you talking about this. And I'm gonna give you one word right now. One word only. And I want you to tell me the following. I have this word. As you can see it there, right? I know all of you know the pronunciation for this word. And if you don't know the pronunciation for this word, guys, finish this semester and change the career. I'm just kidding. I know everybody knows this. Okay, now, this is good, right? That's the meaning of the word, good. Now, I have a question for you. How do you know that this word, you say it good, that pronunciation of good? How do you know that?
Okay, me,
Who is you?
Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I heard before, you could know about to pronounce that word like
Mhm.
like you, because when that word had have two vowel,
Uh-huh.
you could read it like that, like the
Oh,
same
okay.
exactly. It's for example, if it has the same vowel two times, right, in the same word, you could read it um,
Ooh.
like u, like e, or something like that. For example, one time I was watching a a promotion on TV, TNT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were joking about the name about Johnny Depp, right? You
Yeah.
know Johnny Depp, the actor.
Yeah.
Exactly. So his last name, they really like Deep, Deep,
Right,
and
Johnny
they
Depp.
and they, exactly. So they go like, how we can pronounce his last name, Johnny Depp,
Johnny Depp.
or Johnny Depp? Is Johnny Depp or Johnny Depp?
Right.
How it is? So I'm sure if the word has the two letters like that
Mhm.
in the same word, you could read it like this. If
Okay.
you, or something like that. I learned that like that before.
Very
You
good.
know what I mean, teacher?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now, let me give you another word right now.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, right? And how do you know that you say that hi? How do you know? Did you,
Okay.
did you create that sound?
Okay, because the H has one letter above from the vowel, right?
Yeah, but forget about that because you're mixing. Now, how do you know that this is high? Because you didn't know about phonetics before. Did you invent the sound? Did you invent that word? Or how do you know that that is high? Now you know it.
Teacher,
But what happened before? Jaceli, yes.
No, because
yes.
everybody pronounces it like that. Because
Okay,
the
very good.
Later I want to speak.
hi. That's all.
Please.
Okay. Now we have to work, we have to work with how we are going to participate. I told you that you will have to raise your hands because there are people who want to talk. Maybe you don't know how to raise the hands in Zoom. So what you have to do is the following. You make a click on your screen and you click on participants, if you have it in English, and participantes, if you have it in Espanol. You click there, right? And then you're gonna see your name. And when you see your name, there is something that says more, like 3 little dots or points. If you see it like that, you click on more and it says raise hand, you see? So you raise your hand on Zoom. You don't do it like this, like I'm doing right now, because if I'm sharing the screen, I cannot see it. I don't see you. But if you raise your hand on Zoom, I'll see it. All right, very good. Now, was it you, Haseli? I don't know if
Yes,
yes. How do you know
I think
that is high?
like the girls said before, we listen, we listen, but I think in my mind, I don't know if I'm right, it's because the H is mute and the vowel we use the long I forget
The long
the
sound.
long,
The long
yes,
sound.
the long sound.
But one question, if the H is mute, then you shouldn't say hi, you should say I. So what is that sound? Hi.
I don't know. Sorry.
All right, okay, don't worry. All right, you know what happens, guys? I have another question for you. How many English words in English have you invented that everybody uses today? How many? How many words have you created from your mind that people use now in English? How many? Or have you ever created a word in English that everybody uses?
I will tell you if I actually remember because I knew I created a lot of words out of my mind. Like no one knew whatever they meant.
And who's
But I
using
am
those
pretty sure I
words
created
today?
something. I'm
Who?
pretty sure. I
Who is
just can't
using the
tap into it.
words?
Or one of my friends.
A lot of your friends. So you will have to
Everyone in the
share.
group
You
keeps
will have
on
to
going
share.
around
And
saying
there,
it.
and those words are registered in the dictionaries and everything.
I'm pretty sure they're not. They're not
Oh, okay. So
registered
you
in the
see.
dictionary.
So you see. And all the words that you know, Adrian, in English, did you invent one of them? That anybody, could you say a word right now from those ones that you invented that all of us will understand? Like hi, hello, how are you? Or see, or 1, 2, 3.
That's the thing. I'm trying to remember which words I actually invented because there were so many that I said on the fly, and I just quickly forget about them.
So you see, not even you who created the words remember them. Imagine us,
Exactly. Like I
right?
didn't just I didn't think about the meaning. I just said, "Oh, let me just say this word out of the blue." I didn't
But
think about
then,
the meaning,
but
and
but
that's
then,
how.
if but then it's not a word because you need to think about the meaning before you create a word.
Yeah, I just did it on the fly. People didn't question me.
You were
Someone questioned
inventing,
me.
Adrian.
Someone questioned me, and then literally I just said, "Why did you create that?" And I just said, "Oh, I don't know. It came out of my mind." Then okay, then start saying it.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. You know what happens, Adrian and everybody? All the words that you say in English that everybody uses today, everybody, you copy the words. You didn't invent any of the words. The words were created already. We're not even native speakers, so even worse, right? Um, you know what happens? Everything you learn, mainly in English, is because you listen to another person, as Victoria said. You know the high is high because someone said it, because someone told you, because someone taught you that H and I together is high and it is a greeting to say like hello, hi, you know? That's right. You learn the meaning of the word and then you learn the written part of the word, but you didn't invent any of them. That's right. When we are working with a vowel digraph and the long vowel rule number 1, you need to listen to the word. If you find a word written in a book that you don't know how to pronounce it, you are not going to invent the sound of that word. You need to listen to a person who knows the right pronunciation for you to know what is the right way to say it. You know why? Because Victoria gave us a very important example. She's
Thanks.
she talked about what was the name? Dip Johnny, was it? Uh, she talked about the last name Dip, D-E,
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
right? If you, that's a last name. If you think that you know that E, the two vowels together is E, then you say deep, right? But then the person will tell you, it's not deep. My last name is not deep. It's Dip. And then you say, how? How come? That's right. We should listen to the word first, right? Because maybe remember that there are words you write it the same way and they have different pronunciations and different meanings. So we don't want to guess and we don't want to invent. Anna Toribio, which is Bergeris, I guess. Is it? You raise your hand.
Yes, teacher. I have been thinking, and I still understand what is the function of the second vowels in word.
The function of the second vowels in words is to help you distinguish what it is when you are reading. Example, hold on. Okay, example. This is going to help you distinguish what is what. This is C and this is C. When you speaking, you know which one it is depending on the context of where you're talking, right? But when you are reading, you need to know what is the correct one, the correct writing of the word for you not to get confused. Example, imagine that you say, wow, this is a beautiful sea, right? Imagine this. Imagine that you are reading this. Check this. This is a beautiful sea. You know that sea is not a name. Sea is a verb. So you cannot give information about a verb, right? But you can give information about a name, which is this one. When you speak, you say, this is a beautiful sea. You don't care about the writing now, right? But when you're reading, you do care about the writing. That's right. That is the function of the second vowel, to let you know that it is this word and not this word. Hopefully you got it, Ana Toribio, aka Berjaris. And that's it, guys. That's it. We have 1 hour and 18 minutes here. Let me know if you have a question now before we finish the meeting. So if you guys have no questions, I have to let you know that this class is in English. There will be times where you will have to speak, and we are going to work through questionnaires, videos, voice messages, everything, writing. We are going to combine all the methodologies. And if you have a problem speaking or understanding, then it's going to be a little difficult. We are not learning English here, okay? We are learning phonetics. So forget about if you speak beautiful, if you speak ugly, I don't care about that. What I care about is that you understand what I'm saying. And that's it. So if no questions, I'll see you later. See you next week. Make sure you go to into the platform tomorrow, because you're gonna have an exercise about the class of today.
So you're gonna leave homework today
The
or
homework, you will see
tomorrow?
it tomorrow in the platform.
Nice.
Teacher, I think that if we are learning, oh, sorry, I'm not Aima. I'm using my mobile computer, so I didn't change the name.
Hi.
I think that if we are learning phonetics, that some could be oral, because I don't know.
The exams, you mean?
I think that if we are learning phonetics, that should be oral.
Oh.
Yes, because it's gonna be difficult.
Don't worry. The exams will not be like that. The exams are going to combine definitions, rules, and you will see when we start with the book, all the things that we're going to do.
Yes, and that's exactly the problem.
Yeah. Oral is pretty difficult, you know? So we'll try to keep it in a decent level of difficulty.
Well, teacher.
Yeah. So I will see you later then. If no more questions. Take care.
That's it, teacher. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.